devastatingly awesome builds for Halloween Myrrh for the defensive side. You'll know how to do them after this video. Greetings and salutations, killers. So, I know, as of time of this publishing, Halloween Myrrh is just not out there right now, but I had a good friend of mine, somebody who's commented on so many other videos, Zayn Malik. He has been dying to see this video. I have told him several times, oh, I'll do it, I promise. And then between life and between looking at what YouTube wants to see out of my channel, just seems like it hasn't been the right time. But you know what? I put it off long enough, and this build really is killer, as you would expect from me. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this. I'm not going to do a whole review of her. You can see her stats here, but as you could tell, I mean, she's really beefy, 179 BST, she has 2 super boons, and you can get up to 180 with her, so she is definitely a great unit to try to get. Now, Zayn has been building one and has been concerned because he watched a video from Acarus. If you haven't seen his content, it's really good, but he did say this.
You still have to consider that she's red though, and she's going to have weaknesses. Any of the falchions will still likely kill her, and that's going to hurt a lot. And then, of course, you have your Obros and S and the 3 and 4 star pool with armor slaying weapons. There's just so many counters to Myrrh, so I don't feel like she is that great.
And I really do listen to what he says because he has a lot of great thoughts, but honestly on this one I find he's a little bit short because you could definitely make a Halloween Myrrh that is going to take a lot of punishment. That's exactly what we're going to do now. So whenever you're making a unit that's defensive, you want to make sure that they can handle the onslaught of pretty much anything, because you can't promise that they're going to be under favorable circumstances or against a matchup that's nice, so you have to cover all the bases. And this kit right here is the baseline to be able to do just that. Now the DPT on it is terrible. I mean, it's absolutely abysmal. It's 2 and 3 out of 42. That's garbage. If you're not familiar with the DPT, it's Deltran's PvP threats. Link is down the doobly-doo. You can get that for the Arctic Fox Combat Simulator, or if you go to the Andu 2 GitHub Simulator, it's already in the drop-down. This is just a curated list of PvP-capable threats, like brutal things, so that we can actually evaluate how a particular build is going to measure up. Now, with that said, there's definitely a lot of other content out there like the Aether raids and different Grand Hero battles that you could probably adjust things, but if you're looking at things that are meant to just destroy everything that comes at you without a care in the world as to anything else, looking at the DPT is still quite valuable, although you do have to take into consideration team compositions and everything for whatever you're doing. I mean, after all, she's not going to be the only person on the battlefield. So we're keeping Spirit Breath, we're going to keep Bonfire for right now, and then, yeah, I know, that A slot is more premium than premium as of recording this, and I'm sorry, it's going to go so far on her. She's going to need it, because once again, she's not guaranteed to be able to be dictating her matchup. If she is an enemy phase unit, if she is defensive, she's on a defensive team, you're probably letting the AI control them, and even if not, you're just baiting with somebody, and you need to be able to have a unit that is a bulwark there that's going to be able to just withstand everything, and so in order to do that, you need that. Now, reducing the attack isn't going to matter. You have Bonfire there that's going to proc eventually. Wary Fighter is important. Wary Fighter is a great skill to put on pretty much any armor unit that you need to have pacing involved. Pacing in this particular context is referring to the fact that you don't want the fight to go fast, you want the fight to go slow. You are drawing things out so that you could go ahead and put the rest of your team in position, or let the AI catch up to the rest of the team, and it's going to create a big problem for people. So Wary Fighter is a very big part of that. Keeping Armor March on here if you want to, we're going to talk about that in a moment, but that's basically what I have to give you. And so that initial DPT is terrible. But let's take a look at what happens on round 2. On round 2, if you let the enemy just punch you in the face again, you're at 20 and 10, which is basically a mediocre DPT for pretty much anything that's out there right now. So even then, it's okay. But if you actually get that attack back, yeah, that's a lot better, right? That's really freaking good. I like to see those numbers. That is enough firepower there that it basically makes it so that anybody who attacks, well, except for those 5 people, anybody that attacks you is just going to be falling flat. Now, who's actually hurting you? On that first initiation, you have Alm with his double lion, and you have Reinhardt there. I mean, it's units like that that are going to just put you in the ground. The second round after that, and then a bunch of blue is also going to be running you over. But for the most part, this is still very solid. Now, it can get a little bit better. I left this here this way for a couple reasons. One, it uses bonfire, which is not optimal for arena. It also uses armor march, which is a great skill. If you have a lot of that, you're probably going to want to keep that on there. But with that there, it almost doesn't matter what seal you go with. It really doesn't. There's a couple of tweaks here and there. I'm going to let that be to you. You can put on your favorite seal. I don't care for this base build. It's going to work well. There's nothing that's going to give you that much more advantage. Now, having said that, let's adjust this build just a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that you're going to bring her into arena. I mean, if you have the best IV set for her, you have a 180 BST, so you're going to probably put Aether on there for her special, which means you need to probably do a couple other things here. Here's what I suggest. Get rid of Armor March at that point in time, and we're going to give her the Attack Ploy C slot. This is wonderful. Give her a Close Defense Seal, and now you have something that's quite beautiful here. So on the first round, you're not dying to anybody anymore. That's right. Not even double line Alm. So that basically means you're not going to be dying to Falchion users. That's just, it's gone. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You also don't lose to the Reinhardt, which is wonderful. There are a couple other things you can do to help mitigate some other factors here, but you know what? Let's just leave it at this, because if you initiate afterwards... I mean, come on, guys. 40 wins. That's what we're talking about here. 40 wins with a purely defensive Myrrh. And you don't lose. This is amazing. Now, I'm not saying that she's in great shape. If you go ahead and let her tank Reinhardt, if you let her tank a Falchion user, you're going to walk away from it, but not very well. You're going to sort of be limping away from it. But, as I already mentioned, if you're a defensive unit, you don't always get to choose your matchups. So this is an absolutely wonderful pacing unit. It's an absolutely wonderful wall. It's going to work in so many circumstances. This is how you want to build a defensive Myrrh that's going to carry you through Aether Raids, it's going to carry you through PvP, and it is just marvelous. So do me a favor, if you like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you. And until next time, take it easy.